Welcome. My name is Claire Caldwell, and I am so excited that you are joining me today for my podcast called To Be Bold. When I thought about having a podcast, I thought about the ways that I had to step out of my comfort zone for things that matter throughout my life. My birth mother motivated me to step out of my comfort zone when she shared with me that I had survived her abortion that successfully took the life of my twin. And I knew that day that I never wanted to see the tears that I saw in her eyes, in the eyes of anyone else. And so I chose to boldly step out of my comfort zone for something that mattered to me. And so I want to be able to share stories with you, stories of people, ordinary people just like me, people just like you, who are really doing that, who are stepping out of their comfort zone for things that matter, who are being bold in their stance for things that are good, who are speaking truth in love. And I want that to be an encouragement to you today. I hope that it will motivate you as you live life in your family, in your community. And I hope that it will motivate you to be bold enough to stand up, to step out of your comfort zone for things that truly matter today. I hope you enjoy. Welcome everybody to Called to Be Bold. I hope you're having a wonderful week. I am excited because today we have a really fun guest, my cousin's wife, which I guess makes you my cousin as well, Jackie. Yes. Is the founder and CEO of the Fancy Front Door. She makes incredibly beautiful creative things. I want her front door. I've seen it on her Facebook page that we'll share with you, but gosh, you are incredibly talented. Super excited to have you because you are stepping out of your comfort zone for things that matter in your business. And I feel like that sometimes is just hard for people to grasp. Like, how do I mix business with having conversations, with speaking truth, with loving others, how God wants us to, how he's called us to. And I see that you're doing a really good job of that. And as you know, that is what I'm doing on this podcast, is highlighting people who are being bold for things that truly matter. So welcome, Jackie. I'm so excited to have you. I think people are going to really learn a lot from you today.
Thank you so much for having me. This is a true honor, privilege, a blessing. I absolutely love using my platform for things like this. Yes, I love this.
Yay.
So thanks for having me.
Yeah. Well, let's get the questions out of the way so we can get to the fun part where everybody will get to watch you do your magic and make something awesome. But first, tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, your family, all that good stuff.
Okay, awesome. I'm Jacqueline Koch from Houston, Texas. I'm the mom of 3 crazy kids under 5. So it's a zoo in this house. And I actually spent a decade in dentistry, a very lucrative, incredible career that I loved the way that I got to serve people in that and helping people every day. And a twist of, I don't even want to call it fate. It was definitely God's hands moving and urging me and pushing me to step out of dentistry and quit my life to make wreaths for a living. And I thought, God, did I hear you right? Wreaths? And what's crazy is I don't want to say I'm not a creative person. I had never flexed my creative muscles. I'll say that. And I took a wreath making class while I was pregnant with my son, fell in love with it, came home, and I told my husband, I'm going to quit my life and make wreaths for a living. And he said, what? No, you're not. Go back to work after you have this baby. And so I did, and cut to a year later, Hurricane Harvey came, and my neighborhood was 80% destroyed, just gone. So I told myself I was going to make some wreaths to sell. And for every person that bought one, I would donate another wreath to one of my neighbors or friends that had lost everything to the hurricane, because I knew in the middle of all this destruction that nobody cared where the roof or where the wreath for their door was, but like their roof is missing and their baby's shoes and wedding pictures are floating by. So it was something that I could do to make their temporary housing feel like home again. And it was really at that point like all I could do. And I thought that I was going to get 10 orders and I was going to be happy with making 20 wreaths. And I got over 200 orders. So I made over 400 wreaths. And that time when I went to my lovely husband, David, and said, I'm going to quit my life and make wreaths for a living, he didn't disagree. So here we are. And that's been 3 years. And a crazy wild ride.
That is so crazy. I didn't realize all of that backstory, but it sounds like God just put you in the perfect spot where he wanted to use you, and you were able to just serve people well, love people well through something beautiful and creative, something that could put a smile on their face. I love that. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, and David, my cousin, of course, I'll brag on him. He is just so kind and supportive, I've noticed, to you. And so it takes a family, and it's neat to be able to watch how y'all support each other and just all that you're doing. I am a part of, I know that you have multiple ways that people can get involved with what you're doing, can follow you. I'll let you share a little bit about that in a little bit, but I follow Jackie's Facebook page, and it's absolutely incredible to see what you do, but also just the conversations that you're having, the way that you're really loving people. And so you take that beyond the screen and do it in person too, which is incredible. What's your day-to-day like? I mean, you said 400 wreaths, I mean, at the very beginning. So are you just making stuff constantly? And
so I have totally pivoted the business. I have learned that the way to love on my audience and who my audience was has really changed from the beginning to now. It's pivoted. God has really brought it full circle. And I know exactly why I'm here, where I am doing what I'm doing, is because I learned that the other wreath makers in this community, they are doing this craft as a way to put their brain on the shelf and forget everything and make something beautiful. So my day-to-day is serving them the best way that I can. And I start my Facebook page. It's called The Fancy Front Door, if you want to check it out. I start my day with a 9 a.m. Motivational scripture post. And the feedback that I get from that is just incredible. And it's usually people saying, you hit me right in the heart, right where I needed it right here today. And I'll always reach out to them and say, hey, if you need prayer, if you need anything, please reach out to me and I'll gladly pray over you. And can I just tell you the stories? Oh my gosh, there are people in my community walking through things that I don't know I could get out of bed to live through. They are some incredible warriors. So my day-to-day, I start the day with people listening to their stories, replying to the emails. On Monday, I do a thing called Motivation Monday. And I basically preach a mini sermon, just really encouraging them with God's word and God's truth and God's promises, and just reminding them of the goodness of our Jesus to get them through the week. And then I've got that daily scripture in the morning. But on the making side of things, I'm making less because I'm teaching more. A lot of people in our community need help elevating their craft because they're doing this as a business. They're doing this to support their family. I mean, I have people whose parents were both just diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So they were about to retire. Now they can't. Now they're the full-time caregiver and they need extra income. I have people whose children have cancer. I have, people who just lost their jobs. I have women who are in abusive relationships who need the extra income to get away. It's just, there's a lot of things. The devil is attacking from lots of different directions. So my place to serve them is to show them how to elevate their craft, make beautiful things, and make it a business, to show them how to sell on the different marketplaces, on Facebook, on Etsy, Pinterest, and all the things. So my day-to-day is either making one wreath and teaching it, or coming live and teaching it. And I have a few different platforms to do that from. So that is what my day-to-day looks like. I'm making less now because I'm teaching more, if that makes sense.
Very fun. I mean, can I just have your job? It sounds like just what everybody would want to do. It's incredible. And, you know, as beautiful as what you make is, and people will know as they watch, as they listen to what you're making, it's absolutely incredible. But you're reminding your viewers, your followers, that God, as beautiful as what you're making is, that God sees them as even more beautiful than that.
Absolutely. And another thing that I remind them constantly, it's such a special thing that God, the same God that created the universe, put something in us creative people that makes us creative too, that we're able to create beautiful things also. And I just think that that is nothing short of magic. That the God that made fish and ducks and all the things gave us this ability to create things too. It's crazy. It's awesome. So
it is. You know, I've been excited about this because I know that a lot of what I talk about, a lot of the stories that people have heard so far on Called to Be Bold, it's pretty heavy. And I do believe that that stuff needs to be talked about. Truth needs to be exposed. Absolutely. But what I love about you and what I love about what you're doing is that it is so relatable, that you can make a difference in just your day-to-day, in your wreath making business, in your law practice, in your neighborhood, in your family, right where God put your first ministry, your home. And so I love that, because I feel like a lot of times people who are listening feel like, well, I need to have this crazy story like Claire does, who survived an abortion, or I need to have this crazy experience to make a difference. But that's not true. I mean, if I could make a difference without having a crazy story, I'd be there all day long, you know?
Just get me to the drama, get me to the helping part.
Exactly. So I feel like this is going to be an encouragement to the person who's listening, who feels like, I'm just an ordinary person. I just go about my day the same every single day. I've had the same job for 20 years, whatever it is. And they can feel like, okay, look what Jackie's doing. She's got this incredible business, but she's doing it for something that truly counts. And you're planting seeds for something that's eternal through your conversations and through your posts and through your encouragement. And so I hope that that will stick with people as they watch you make something, as they heard your encouraging words, because I think that every single person, that they too can make a difference, can have conversations that truly matter where they're at.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I tell my people, where it starts for me is the position of service. And just literally, I show up in my craft room every morning, and as my feet cross the threshold, I say, Jesus, these are your hands and your feet. Today, I'm working for you. Like, I could make wreaths all day, and that's great. But if I'm not serving you, because I know that I'm here for you and your purpose, and you put me here, then it means nothing. Like, I am here to serve. These are your hands. These are your feet. What are we doing today, Jesus? Like, where do you have me? So.
And he's guiding you well, I will
absolutely.
say. Well, I was going to ask you if you had any tips and tricks for us, for, you know, just that's universal, but then you told me that what you're going to make would answer that question. So let's make something. Let's watch you make something. This is the fun part.
For sure. And everybody who's just listening to this, I'm going to describe what I'm using, but also feel free to watch the replay in a place where you can see the video also. So what I'm making today is really, really fun. It's one of those things where it takes 3 zip ties and 5 little things that you can pick up at any Hobby Lobby, Michael's, any craft store that you've got around. I absolutely love the at-home store, fair warning. I love that place. So I gathered a few things from those places. So I'm going to back up a little bit and show you guys what I'm talking about. So if you've got a bare door, a bare entryway, a bare table that needs a centerpiece. This can do all three. It can sit on a table. It can be hung on a wall, a door, wherever. So what am I talking about? I've got these little berry sprays that I love. So they've got pine needles and berries in them. Super simple. You can find these everywhere. I got these particular ones. It's a website called CoachFancySupplies.com. They have really amazing craft supplies that I highly recommend because, well, that's me. I'm Coach Fancy. So I take these two,
don't you?
and I take the stems and I just completely overlap them so that I've got the stems where the trunk and the stem meet. Look there. I just kind of secure wrong way. I secure them together like so. See there? And I'm just going to zip tie it. So let me grab my little zip tie and put them around the middle. And I know that bows are a little bit tricky for people. Not everybody knows how to make a great bow, and that's fine. The glory of this recipe is that there's no bow. So look, I've zip tied these two together, and I want a little more something. So I grabbed these really cute little ball sprays from Hobby Lobby, and we're going to do the exact same thing. Look, y'all, you just stack these on top, just like so, and zip tie. The other thing I love about this is at the end of the season, you can just cut the zip ties and you still have these little picks and sprays that you can use other places. Or if you decide you don't like it, and you can go and add like these little sprays to an arrangement or something that you have on a table, they work just the same. All right. We've got that. Snip that with my scissors. And like I said, there's no bow because there are these gorgeous giant flowers that you can find, especially during Christmas time. This one's frosty and I love it. I think it's a peony. It's like this really gorgeous deep crimson red peony and it's so pretty. I'm going to take this little guy and trim the stem. I'm leaving about 3 inches on this stem. And look, right where you put all of those zip ties to gather everything, bend this little stem like so, and stick that right in the middle. And then come back here where you bent your stem and zip tie him in there like so. And there we have it, folks. This, let me show you how you're going to hang it on your door because it's easy. Like if you were just putting this as a table centerpiece, friend, you're done. But if you want to hang this on a door, okay, see there, finished product, all done, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay, if you want to hang this on a door, just take any of these stems that are left over, bend them in half, and make a little loop, and you can hang it from there. Ta-da! All done, ship shape. It's kind of twisted around, but you get it. You get it. It's so fun. It's so fun. It's so easy. Easy peasy. And there we have it.
I just want to bottle up everything that you make and bring it home with me because it's just nice when you wake up in the morning. I don't know about you, but like 2 things that make me just start my day off better is first thing, make my bed. I feel better about getting stuff done and I feel better every time I walk into my room instead of sloppy. But also just having things around the house that make me happy. And of course, I mean, Christmas colors make everyone happy, right? I mean, do you have your Christmas decorations up yet?
I have half of them. I spent last weekend doing a virtual conference where we made Christmas decor and random thing, it got changed from New Orleans to Houston because of the hurricane. So everyone ended up gifting these giant things that we made to me as a housewarming gift, which was really, really sweet. And it took all of the decorating off my plate. So I have these giant, gorgeous decor that's half up right now.
So fun. I mean, if I've seen people putting up their Christmas decorations a month ago, and I'm telling you, if there was a year to do it, it's 2020. We all need a little something,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And so,
Hallelujah. Y'all, and don't make people make you feel bad for decorating for Christmas. You want to keep it up till March, friend, keep it up till March. If it brings you joy, do it. If that is the thing that puts a smile on your face, nobody's going to tell you no in this house. I love that.
and follow Jackie, because I mean, you have stuff for every season, right? And
I
stuff
do.
that
Every season, theme, and occasion. You can find me at the Fancy Front Door on Facebook, or thefancyfrontdoor.com is where I've got a big list of everything that I have. Plus, my blog is there too. So thefancyfrontdoor.com.
okay. Now you have I don't know if it's a secret, I guess it's not a secret group, but you have another Facebook group, right? Where
Right.
people get special tips and tricks, or tell us about that, because it's a
Yes.
subscription, right?
It is. It's a monthly subscription. It's only $35. It's called the Creative Coaching Group inside the Wreath Chateau. I know it's a long name, but there are, it's me and the other three top designers in the nation. We got together and we make all kinds of things: wreaths, swags, centerpieces, garlands, all the things. And it's a private group because it's a paid group. And if you want to find out more about that, you can go to creativecoachfancy.com. It's creativecoachfancy.com. It'll give you all the info you need. And like I said, it's $35 a month. We've got thousands of videos in there. If you want to binge watch some tutorials on how to make this and that and the other, you can definitely do that. Or we come live every night of the week. Is not every night. Let's see, 4 nights of the week, one of us is live in there. So you get 20 to 30 fresh tutorials every month. But then we have like this vault of everything that we've made before that you can go back and watch and see how in the world did they make that. So I love, love, love that group. They are my heart and soul. Everyone is in there to elevate their craft or to learn how to just decorate the mess out of their house. So we're having a lot of fun in there. It's super, super great.
I will have to try that out so we can get in touch with our creative side. What about someone who doesn't have the time or doesn't feel that they're interested in that? Can they purchase things from you that are already made?
Absolutely. The fancyfrontdoor.com has everything that I've already made complete and ready to go. Also, if you don't know if you're ready to jump into the group, on Monday nights on my public page, I do a Make Something Monday. And I just do a quick free little tutorial where it's kind of like a behind the scenes feel, like I'm hanging out with my friends in my craft room and I'm making something and just kind of hanging out with everybody. So it's really, really great. It's a free tutorial, I guess you could say.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sharing your gifts and your talents with the world, and for having meaningful conversations. I want to ask you to give some encouragement to the person who's listening who feels like, okay, I have a business. I'm not encouraging people. I'm not loving on people to the best of my ability because I don't know where to start. But Jackie today has encouraged me that I can do something where I'm at, in the business I'm at, in my home, in my community. What would be your encouragement to that person who's considering stepping out of their comfort zone and having meaningful conversations and being bold for things that truly matter?
So, like I said earlier, every morning that you show up to work, whether it's a stay-at-home mom, whether it's in an office or wherever you are, show up and say, Jesus, I know you blessed me with this job in this position in this time right now. These are your hands. These are your feet. Use me today. And another thing that I really, really, really encourage people to do, if you're ready to step out of your comfort zone, ask somebody, how can I pray for you today? If they are, even if it's like a virtual conversation, it's in your DMs or your PMs or whatever M's, ask people, how can I pray for you today? Because I know that a lot of people have a lot on their heart and their mind right now. And that question, just asking it blesses them. But then I'll also follow up with that meaningful prayer and just shake heaven on their behalf. And can I just tell you, walls are going to come down, differences are going to be made. Jesus is going to show up and step in and change the atmosphere. He promises that. So lean into that. That's what I got.
Thank you. What an encouragement to all of us. Well, follow her, subscribe to her awesome group if you're interested in getting creative. Purchase a wreath, comment, message me with what you get. I mean, I'm interested in everything that Jackie makes, so I'd love to see it. Join us next week as we highlight someone else who is doing something for things that matter by stepping out of their comfort zone and having conversations that truly make a difference. So have a wonderful week, everybody. Jackie, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been a true blessing. Thanks.
Thank you for listening to Called to Be Bold, Episode 6 with Jacque Koch. You can find out more about Jackie and see more of her work at her website, www.thefancyfrontdoor.com. Called to Be Bold was created and is presented by Claire Colwell. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Keep up with Claire on her social media at Claire Colwell, and sign up for our latest updates at www.clairecolwell.com. Do you know someone who's stepping outside their comfort zone to do something bold? Well, please let us know. You can reach the show at podcast@clairecolwell.com.